Hey guys, Darkovika here. Once again, you're gonna get kind of like a quieter video just because my son is sleeping behind me, but I figured I wanted to show you guys something cool that I was working on in The Sims 4. I got randomly inspired to do this and I've spent an embarrassing amount of time putting this together. I have yet to test it, so if anyone wants to help me test this, I am totally stoked. Once I finish my my current series, because I don't want to do too many things at once, I'd love to give this a try on the channel, but we'll have to see, because I'm taking my time with the Sims 4 stuff. It's very possible that it will go on forever, so if you decide to do this, please let me know. I want to see it. But yeah, so as you can see, is anyone surprised? Anyways, Sims 4 Robin Hood challenge. So I have step 1 is your create a Sims step. So you create your Robin Hood sim. This is just a metaphorical thing. It can be a sim of any gender or name. They just have to represent Robin. So you could literally have a female, non-binary, whatever you would like. It just has to be Robin. Representative of Robin. The traits are required. It's loves outdoors, kleptomaniac, and bro. Aspirations, these are important. They must be completed in this order. Chief of Mischief, public enemy, fabulously wealthy. An optional one is friend of the world, and the last one is soulmate. I'll circle back around to this, but it says the next part is creating your merry men sims. Again, any gender or name, it just has to represent the sims in the list. So it has to be the same number of sims, and each of them have to have kleptomaniac and bro. So all sims must have bro and kleptomaniac except for Marian. Marian does not need kleptomaniac, and she can have bro if you would like. The Merrymen must not start out living with Robin, so I did create a family in The Sims 4 for this called, I think, Robin Hood Sherwood Gang or something like that. My user ID is Darkovika. They're all in one family, but you would have to separate them because they do not start out living with Robin. They should not know each other at the start of the challenge. It is optional to have them all living separately, but what I mean by that is Little John living with Friar Tuck and Will Scarlet and all that stuff. They should all be living separately, but that's not required. The required sims are Little John, Will Scarlet, who's going to be a combined version of Will Stutley and Will Scathlock, because they're usually I've read some where they're all 3 different Wills. They're all in the story, so I was like, that's a little ridiculous. We're just going to have one Will. Number 3 is Alan Adale. Optional is to give him the music lover trait, and then also giving him a music lover aspiration or music related aspiration. It's not required. The only person whose aspirations matter is Robin. Friar Tuck's an optional trait is either foodie or glutton, so that's usually how he's depicted. Much the Miller's son. I keep forgetting to fix that. Optional is that he can be a teen or a child sim living with any of the other merry men. If you do this, though, you have to befriend both of them and to ask them to move in before you ask them to move in, rather. So if you don't know much and he's a child and you don't know him yet, you can't move in that household yet. If Much is a child, motor aspiration and kleptomaniac trait. If Much is a teen, give him the kleptomaniac and bro traits. I think bro can be given to a teen. I forget. Maid Marian. As a reminder, Marian does not have the kleptomaniac trait. She can have the bro trait. Marian should be living separately from everyone else, probably with family. Some stories have her related to King Richard. If you wanted, you could do that. If you wanted, you could move her in with Prince John. That would be kind of funny. So step 3 is creating your villain sims. If so desired, you can cheat and make Prince John wealthy to match up with the legend. You can also give him a very expensive lot to have the merry men attempt to steal from. Prince John's traits are evil, and then you can choose here, just depending on what packs you have. If you don't have Get Famous, it's mean. If you do, you can choose Self-Absorbed. If you have Spa Day, you can choose High Maintenance, or you can choose Materialistic. Any of these work for him. Sheriff of Nottingham, traits are evil, mean, and materialistic. Guy of Gisborne, traits are mean and evil or self-absorbed, or both, because the random trait, or the third trait can be random. An optional sim that you can create is King Richard. He can have any traits or aspirations, and you can make him rich and famous. You can have him live with Prince John. Apart from Robin, no one is required to have any specific aspirations. So here we go into the rules, and I think I've thought of everything, but it's possible that I have not. Robin must start on a lot, preferably large, that is as close to a forest as possible. So this is supposed to represent Sherwood. We won't get into the actual medieval definition of a forest. It's a little weird. We're just gonna go with like a literal forest. So just trees, plants, all that stuff. Robin may sleep in a tent, but otherwise cannot sleep in a building until he completes the Chief of Mischief aspiration. So this, for me, was supposed to represent the idea that he's just joined the forest. He's not really dedicated himself yet to his job as Robin Hood and stealing from the rich to give to the poor kind of business. He doesn't really have anything in Sherwood Forest yet, but once he completes the Chief of Mischief aspiration, he can start building things. All aspirations must be completed in the order listed. Until Public Enemy, Robin must not have a job. When the aspiration asks him to join the criminal career is when he can finally get a career, and all of the merry men must then join the career as well. So, obviously, they'll be living off of their kleptomaniac skills until then. So I'll get to that in a second. Robin must meet and befriend the merry men and move them in. Marian is optional in the situation before moving on to Public Enemy. Max friendship is not required. They just have to be friends, basically. The merry men must be controlled and also have no job until Robin explicitly gets the criminal career. They can move in at any time before Public Enemy, so it's not like there's no setup. Obviously, they have to move in before you can get to Public Enemy. I'm not saying like you have to complete the Mischief aspiration before you can move them in. You just have to move them in before you get to Public Enemy. They are not required to follow Robin's aspirations, so they can be their own people. They can do their own thing. The challenge here, obviously, is that you're going to have roughly 7 Sims living in a household. Good luck. When Robin completes Fabulously Wealthy, he must donate or give away all money he currently possesses to free, quote-unquote, free King Richard, which is a representation. So if you have a King Richard Sim, I think you can give money to Sims. I don't know if you can give all of your money to him, but the idea is to try to donate all of your money away. You can either cheat this or not, but it's to match the legend of Robin, earning up the amount of money required for saving King Richard because he was, held ransom. If there is a King Richard Sim, Robin cannot speak to this Sim until he's cleared Fabulously Wealthy. This is because King Richard was, captured. If Robin is also completing Friend of the World, my idea behind this was that it is the period where he is pardoned for his crimes. So if he's completing Friend of the World, he cannot move out of Sherwood until he has completed this aspiration to represent being pardoned for his crimes. Otherwise, he may leave Sherwood once he has completed Fabulously Wealthy. Once Fabulously Wealthy is completed, Robin may also get a new job, any job at all, doesn't matter. Robin cannot marry or woohoo Marian until he completes the soulmate aspiration. Basically, part of the soulmate aspiration is getting married. So you marry him, you marry Marian as part of the aspiration. So I probably should rewrite that. Optional, he cannot move in with her, excluding Sherwood, until they marry. So if he leaves Sherwood, she can't come with him. This is an optional step. It's just to match the idea of maid Marian, which was, Marian being virtuous. It's not required. It's just part of the legend. Marian is not allowed to have a baby until she and Robin are married. Robin must make John, the sheriff, and Guy of Gisborne his enemies. They must be at max enmity, so he must never be friends with them. Optional. Robin can create a Merry Men Club, get-together pack required. Swipe objects is a good club activity for everyone. It could make things a lot easier, especially if everyone's living together and you have them all in a club and you go to an area. That way it's just easier. Everyone's going to automatically go do the club activity, which is to steal things. All furniture, this is an optional, all furniture in Sherwood must be crafted, or as much as possible. I know not all furniture is going to be able to be crafted, but I'll change the wording on that. If Robin or any of the merry men visit any of the villains' houses to steal from them, they must be wearing a quote-unquote disguise. One of their outfits must have different hair colors, different clothing, etc. It's just a, storytelling idea. 4, after completing the soulmate aspiration, Robin must die. Remember, this is all optional. You don't have to do this. Optional ending 1, Marian has a child with him before abstaining marriage. She either keeps the child in a convent, quote-unquote, which can be metaphorical or literal, or sends the child to hide with one or more of the merry men. Or optional ending 2, Marian has no child with Robin and still swears off marriage, so she joins a quote-unquote convent. Cheating. No money cheats except for John, Sheriff, or Guy, as they are not playable characters for the challenge. No money or UI cheats for Robin. Adding lots or restocking lots that the Merry Men have stolen from is allowed, because obviously that's a lot of money that you have to earn from kleptomania. So if you're stealing from lots and they already they've been emptied, it's going to be kind of hard to do the challenge. So I figured it would make a lot of sense to just outright say that this is allowed, because there's only so far you can go, and it still requires some skill because you don't want to get caught, obviously. So yeah, this is also, if you're curious what this is my really random blog that I created a long time ago. It's really bizarre. I just have a whole bunch of random stuff in here, including a whole bunch of really random Sims challenges. I just created a whole bunch of challenges at one point because I was spending a lot of time in a hospital at that time. So to get my mind off things, I randomly started making Sims challenges. I didn't get to test very many of them, so I don't even know if they all work. It was just for fun. But anyways, yeah, I will put a link to the Robin Hood challenge in the description below. If you guys do this, please, please, please let me know how it goes. I'd love if you do videos. Please link them to me. I'm dead serious. Show me. I want to see. I want to watch. I will comment. I want to know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Bye.